Hello, it is Erich Hartmann. I will tell my story. I came to the sky as a child. When I was 6, my mother took me up in a glider above the Württemberg hills. The wind screamed, the earth fell away, and I knew, this is where I belong. From that day on, the ground was only a place I slept between flights. October 1942. Eastern Front. I was 20, blonde hair sticking out from under the leather helmet, cheeks still round like a boy's. They gave me a Messerschmitt Bf 109G2, yellow one, and sent me east with JG52. My first airplanes. Bf 109E7 Emile, in training. Then G2, G4, G6, G14. And in the last months of the war, the superb Bf 109K, for with the DB605 DCM engine and 30mm 108 Malawian Quachas cannon. Always the same narrow, snarling Messer. I knew every rivet, every sound of that Daimler-Benz heartbeat. First combat sortie, October 20th, 1942 over the Caucasus. I was terrible. Third mission I chased a yak so deep behind Russian lines I ran out of fuel and belly landed in a sunflower field. I ran 25 kilometers back to our lines laughing like a madman. That day they taught me the only rule that mattered. See the enemy. Close to 50 meters, sometimes 20. Fire. Break away. There is no second place. November 5th, 1942, first kill. A lag, 3. After that it became a fever. I painted a black tulip on the engine cowling. Soviet regiments transmitted frantic warnings, Achtung. The Black Devil. They scattered when they saw me. I never gave them time to be afraid for long. The numbers came like an avalanche. August 24th, 1943, 11 victories in one day, 3 sorties. October 1943, 100 victories at age 21. October 29, 1943, 150. July 2, 1944, another 11 in a single day. August 24, 1944, victory number 301. I passed every ace who had ever lived. May 8, 1945, the last one, number 352. All 352 on the Eastern Front. 347 single-engine fighters, 4 IL-2s, 1 American P-51 that simply flew into the wrong sky. I flew only the Messerschmitt. Early war, 120mm MG-151 firing through the prop hub, 2 7.92 mm cowl guns. Later, the devastating 30mm 108 Malawian Quachas, one hit tore a yak or lag in half. I fired in short, deadly bursts from 30 meters, 20, sometimes 10. When the enemy saw my tracers inside his cockpit, he was already dead. 1,404 combat missions. 825 aerial engagements. 16 times I was shot down, never once by an enemy fighter. Always by debris from the aircraft I had just destroyed, or by flak when I was strafing at treetop height. No Soviet pilot ever touched me in a dogfight. Not once. By the end, the rudder of my last K-4 carried 352 thin white victory bars. Each one a man who never came home. I was called Bubi, little boy, by my comrades. The Russians called me the Black Devil of the South. I just wanted to bring my wingmen home and land with the sun still in the sky. 352 times I landed. 352 times someone else did not. And then the sky ended. May 8, 1945. The war was over, but the engines were still warm on my last K-4 when the order came, burn the planes, we surrender to the Americans. I could have taken off west, 1 hour of fuel, and I would have been drinking coffee with the 8th Air Force boys by sunset. But my ground crew had loaded 2,000 refugees, women, children, wounded, onto the trucks of the Jesuiter. I looked at them, then at my beautiful black tulip Messerschmitt, and I poured the petrol myself. The flames went higher than the trees. I watched my 352 victory marks melt away in the fire. The Americans handed us to the Soviets 2 days later. They wanted me to fly for them. They offered me a squadron, a house, my life back, if I would just put on their uniform. I told them the same thing every day for 10.5 years. I am a German officer. My war is finished. Dyakovka, Vorkuta, Novichorkassk, the camps had many names and one smell, frozen death. They beat the Knight's Cross from my neck with rifle butts. They broke my teeth, my ribs, my back. They kept me in a stone box so small I had to sit with my knees under my chin for 4 months. I sang my mother's old glider songs in the dark until the guards threatened to shoot me. Every year on April 19th they brought a cake with 1 candle and asked again. Will you fly for us now, Black Devil? Every year I answered, ask me again next birthday. 1955. Adenauer came home with the last 10,000 of us. I stepped off the train in Friedland weighing 45 kilograms. My hair was gray at 33. Children stared at the scarecrow in the torn Luftwaffe jacket. But when I looked up, the October sky was the same impossible blue it had been the day my mother first let me hold the stick. I went back to the air. 1956, I put on the new gray uniform of the Bundesluftwaffe. They gave me an F-86 Sabre first, then the F-104 Starfighter, the Widowmaker, the press called it. I flew it faster and higher than any man in NATO. Young lieutenants trembled when Oberstleutnant Hartmann walked past the hangar. They said my eyes still looked like glacier ice. I never told them about the nights I woke screaming, smelling burning Yak 9s. I never told them that sometimes, when I closed my eyes at Mach 2, I still saw the black tulip on my old cowling. I retired in 1970. The last time I flew a 104, I took it to 20,000 meters, rolled it inverted, and looked down at Germany the way I had first seen it from a glider when I was 6. I whispered into the oxygen mask. Danke, Mutti. I'm coming home soon. September 20th, 1993. I died quietly in my bed in Wilhelmskonbuch. Ursula, my wife of 46 years, held my hand. My last words were the same ones I used to say on the radio when the fuel was gone and the fight was over. Verstanden. Pock pock. Ich komm heim. Understood. Engaging. I'm coming home. Somewhere above the clouds, a blond boy with 352 white bars on his rudder is still climbing, throttle wide open, chasing the sun he never quite managed to catch. And the sky, cruel, beautiful, faithful at last, finally opens its arms and says, welcome home, Bubi. You were the best there ever was. You always will be.